He wakes up in an unknown place, finds a beautiful alien girl curiously inspecting him. When Daniel opened his eyes, his head throbbed like it had been split with an axe. The last thing he remembered was the hiss of failing oxygen filters aboard the escape pod, alarms flashing red, and then darkness swallowing him whole. Now he wasn't in the pod. The ceiling above him shimmered faintly, like liquid glass, and pale light pulsed through it as if alive. He sat up quickly, too quickly, and the world tilted. His hand braced against something soft, springy, almost plant-like. Not metal, not earth. Finally, the voice startled him. It wasn't English, but somehow he understood it. He turned, his heart hammering. A girl crouched beside him, large golden eyes fixed on his face. Her skin carried an iridescent sheen, blue-gray that shifted like moonlight on water. Dark hair tumbled in uneven lengths, braided with silver bands. She wasn't wearing much by human standards, just thin, woven strands that clung to her form like living vines, but it was her expression that struck him most. Curiosity. Pure, unguarded curiosity. She leaned closer, sniffing at him like a cat, then reached out and touched his cheek with fingers tipped in faintly glowing nails. Strange, warm, softer than shell. Daniel jerked back instinctively, but the girl only tilted her head, fascinated. "Where am I?" he croaked, his throat raw. The girl blinked slowly, then answered with a word he didn't recognize. Her voice was melodic, though, rising and falling with a rhythm that made it sound almost like song. "I don't." Daniel rubbed his forehead. "I can't." But even as he struggled, he felt something shift in his mind, as if her words were rewiring themselves into meaning. She tried again. "You are in the undernest. You fell. You bleed. I fix." Daniel looked down and realized his shirt had been stripped away. A band of luminous material wrapped his ribs, warm against his skin. The ache in his chest was fading, though he remembered the brutal impact when the pod had crashed. "You healed me?" The girl's face brightened into what could only be a smile. "Yes. Healing vine likes you. It drink your blood, then close your break." She traced a finger over the glowing band. "You live." Daniel swallowed. Gratitude warred with unease. He had no idea who or what she was. Yet she had saved his life. "Thank you," he managed. The girl tilted her head again, repeating the words softly. "Thank you." She seemed to taste them like fruit. He tried sitting fully up. His strength was shaky, but the ground beneath him supported his weight. It wasn't stone, more like woven roots, warm to the touch. Around them, the chamber curved high, glowing veins running through the walls. It was beautiful in an alien, almost organic way. Then he remembered. He wasn't alone in space. "My ship," Daniel muttered. "Others' crew." The girl's expression faltered. Her eyes lowered. "Only you fell here. Others, no voices. No breath." The words struck him like ice. He clenched his fists, fighting the surge of grief. He had been a technician, not a soldier. He hadn't signed up to lose friends in deep space. The girl watched him silently, then reached out again. This time, she touched his hand lightly, as if mimicking human comfort. Her palm was cool, smooth, almost silken. "You are not alone," she said softly. Something in Daniel eased at that. "What's your name?" he asked. She blinked. "Name? Yes, what do they call you?" The girl thought for a moment, then pressed her hand to her chest. "Sail." "Sail," Daniel repeated. It felt strange on his tongue, but she smiled. She leaned closer again, studying his eyes, his hair, even tugging lightly at his arm as if mapping his form. Her curiosity was endless. He realized she had likely never seen a human before, and perhaps he was the first she ever would. Over the next hours, Sail brought him food, strange fruit with glowing seeds, water drawn from vines that dripped clear liquid. Daniel's strength slowly returned, though he couldn't shake the sense of being deep underground, far from any sunlight. "Why help me?" he asked as they sat together, sharing the strange meal. Sail chewed delicately before answering. "You are not like us, but you are alive. Life is precious. My people forget this, but I do not." There was something sorrowful in her voice, though she masked it quickly with another question about his body, why his teeth were blunt, why his skin was hairless in places, why his eyes didn't shine. Daniel laughed once, the sound rusty in the cavern. "You're full of questions." Sail's lips curved. "Curious." She mimicked his laughter, awkward at first, then bright and clear. It filled the chamber like bells. Days passed. Daniel learned fragments of her world. Her people lived in vast caverns, guided by bioluminescent flora. They were wary of outsiders, sometimes hostile, but Sail had always wandered too close to forbidden edges. That curiosity had led her to him. At night, when the vines dimmed, they spoke in hushed tones. She asked about the stars. He told her of Earth's oceans, the wind across grass, the sound of rain. Her golden eyes grew wide with wonder. "You live under firelight sky," she whispered. "Not in stone shell." "I wish," she trailed off, then shook her head. One night, as Daniel lay on the root floor, he woke to find Sail crouched beside him again. She was studying his chest rise and fall with sleep, her fingers hovering close but not touching. "What are you doing?" he asked groggily. She didn't flinch. Instead, she answered honestly, "I watch. To know you are real. Sometimes I think you are dream." Daniel's throat tightened. He reached out, gently this time, and took her hand. "I'm real, and I think you're the only reason I'm still alive." Sail looked down at their joined hands, her glow-tipped nails trembling faintly. For once, she had no words. But their fragile peace couldn't last. One morning, distant sounds echoed through the caverns, harsh, guttural voices, metallic clatter. Sail froze, fear flashing across her face. "My kin," she whispered. "They hunt. If they find you—" She grabbed his arm, pulling him to his feet with surprising strength.
"Come."
"Hide." They ran through twisting tunnels, glowing veins flickering overhead. Daniel's legs ached, but adrenaline carried him. Sail's grip was firm, her determination fierce. At last, she led him into a hollow concealed by curtain-like vines. She pressed him inside, her body close, breathing hard. The voices drew nearer, echoing. Daniel felt his pulse thunder. If these were her people, why would they harm him? Sail seemed to read the question in his eyes. "They fear what they do not know. They will break you.
Use you.
I will not allow." Her defiance burned bright. Outside, shadows passed. The voices faded. Only then did Sail sag against him, trembling with relief. Daniel wrapped his arms around her instinctively. She stiffened, then slowly, cautiously, relaxed into the embrace. "You are strange," she murmured into his chest.
"But
I want you safe, and I want the same for you," Daniel whispered. They stayed hidden for hours, the danger gradually ebbing. In that small hollow, surrounded by living vines and her quiet warmth, Daniel realized something undeniable. He had fallen into an unknown world. His crew was gone, his future uncertain. But he wasn't alone. Sail's golden eyes met his, steady and curious as ever. And for the first time since the crash, Daniel didn't feel lost.